Hello and welcome to The Bottom Line on TVP World. This is where we unpack some of the main business and economic stories of the day. I'm your host, Marie Cato. The tide is changing, and Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk confirmed it this morning. When it comes to Poland's economy, national interests will come first from here onwards, and there is a good reason for it. Let's take a look at a report from Ovidiusz Nicieja.
The Polish Prime Minister wants to re-Polonize the Polish economy. Head of the Polish government, Donald Tusk, has said that Poland should, quote, selfishly take care of the interests of its own entrepreneurs. Donald Tusk has also appealed to the Polish people, Polish businesses, but also Polish state-owned companies to favor Polish ideas and Polish companies over the foreign competition.
Today, Poland, Europe, and the entire world find themselves in a situation where we must state loudly and clearly that we will endure, we will prevail, and we will achieve success for our nation, for our enterprises, for our families, and for our citizens. Those of us who draw the correct conclusion from the events unfolding around us will prosper. And now, I believe the time has come to say, firmly and unambiguously, that the era of naive globalization is coming to an end.
And these remarks came at the European Forum of New Ideas, which is attended by Polish employers and businesses. And these words were met with a certain enthusiasm on site. The European Forum of New Ideas is an annual conference which focuses on global trends, new ideas, and the future of Europe. And this edition is focused on the future of employment in the face of challenges such as rapidly developing new technologies, but also changing demographics in Poland, as well as this new era of global competition. And the Polish government is present here. It wanted to send a signal that it acknowledges all of these issues, and it wanted to show that it has a solution. So the Polish Prime Minister believes that getting rid of over-regulation, as well as this Poland-first approach, this economically nationalistic approach, is the right way forward. From Warsaw for TVP World, Ovidiusz Nicieja.
So Prime Minister Donald Tusk's remarks have piqued everyone's interest today. What does it mean to put Poland first in the current geopolitical situation? The government is also keen to deregulate. That is what the Sprawdzamy.com initiative is all about. It's a project headed by the leaders of the Polish business community, and it intends to limit the amount of paperwork and red tape for businesses and the average citizen. We're now joined by the project coordinator at Sprawdzamy.com, Adam Malinowski. Hello, and thank you for joining us.
Great to be here. Thank you.
So I want to start with the European Forum of New Ideas, starting with Prime Minister Donald Tusk's remarks this morning at the forum. I'd like to bring up a visual and quote, "The end of the era of naive globalization demands the rebuilding of the national economy. It's time to once again prioritize Polish interests in the economy, markets and capital." So the idea of prioritizing the Polish interests in the economy in itself is not foreign, but it's the way that the Prime Minister delivered the speech and these remarks provides a sense that there is a significant change in the narrative itself. What were your thoughts this morning?
I mean, first of all, we were extremely happy that these words appear because it supports extremely what we are doing. I mean, many of our volunteers, as well as the people who are fully in charge of Sprawdzamy initiative, they were afraid that it will be like political game. I mean, it's natural. You know, we have bad experience. So we were afraid that this whole initiative, they finally will not come to the end. So the end game will not be reached. I think from the beginning, honestly speaking, Prime Minister and his head of this project, Minister Berek, they are stating is that they are very serious about the regulation. And I think today interview and today material that you are quoting, it's only supporting this initiative. They are really serious about changing the way Poles doing business. They want to change the momentum of Poland in Europe. And I think there's a quote that when you are in Formula race, you can have the best spot when it's raining. And I think it's raining right now in Europe. We have a problem with the geopolitical part. We have a huge challenge between China and America. It's a great challenge. And obviously, Europe is overregulated. So I think Prime Minister find the momentum that it's a great moment to play on Poland, not on others.
Indeed. I want to bring up another visual that has another powerful quote that probably evokes a lot of opinions. If someone wants to call it economic dictatorship, so be it. We will enforce actions that give preferential treatment to Polish companies with all its consequences.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate that this will generate the right attitude to get businesses and entrepreneurs going?
So the answer to your question is not easy. First of all, it's happening all over the world. There are many more developed countries which are doing this daily. You can imagine if tomorrow there will be a discussion with who should build the SMR or atomic power plant, and there will be a potential candidate from France. The Prime Minister from France will arrive to Poland and he will be pushing or negotiating in the name of the French business. And I think all over the countries, France, Germany, United States, they are already quite experienced with playing on their own economies. Poland always was quite shy in this respect. So I think it's positive change. Of course, it's nicely said, but there are a lot of details we have to right now understand, because if you are looking from the perspective of the management board, of the company, public-owned company, I mean, they have a rule of conduct. They have a contract. They should generate profit. How they should choose the maybe a bit more expensive Polish offer compared to foreign offer, which will be a bit cheaper. I mean, there's so much to be regulated in this respect to give to these words the actions.
And also one last quote, because it's hard not to actually refer to these quotes. The speech was a little bit unexpected. I think it really caught the attention of the media. Capital has a nationality, the economy has a nationality, and our interests wear red and white. I think this was something that really perhaps was a little bit unexpected, really, from the Prime Minister.
It was honestly harsh phrases. I mean, we don't want to be naive. The economy has a color. The economy has
an identity.
An identity, yeah. Thank you. So I believe it's quite strong, and it's for sure it's a game changer for the way we are doing foreign policy today, and it will be a challenge for also Prime Minister and for the whole government, because you cannot say such words without, and you cannot do A without doing B and C. So right now the question, what kind of action will follow? But I think we as a country, we are going out from the momentum where we were kind of growing country, poor country, with always these comments that there is Eastern Europe and Western Europe, and with all our shyness. We catched up already. I mean, and this is what we said to Prime Minister when we start Sprawdzamy. We said, Mr. Prime Minister, somehow the publicity did not realize the Polish business grew. We don't have any more like these small business owners from 90s. We have mature business owners. They are not only great in Poland, they are going to other markets, they are going to other continents, where finally we will start the debate between the private business and the government. And I think it's time to start. So I really find these words kind of uprising.
But earlier on, you mentioned the issue of the geopolitical tensions with the US, Russia, and these are obviously at the forefront of the government's agenda. But in light of today's speech and obviously the ambitions to develop Polish businesses, how do we reconcile all of that, keeping in mind the trade tensions with the US, additional expenditure on defense, the security issues, and also keeping in mind that Polish farmers are also very tentative in terms of the EU, the Green Deal, because they too also have a lot to say?
So you touched two extremely complicated topics. So first of all, maybe starting from the last part, from energy. We have to realize we are currently a fast train going on the wall in terms of electricity. They are saying before 2030 we'll be missing electricity in the way that there will be switch-offs in majority of the houses partially. So we need to find a solution for electricity in Poland, and this is a strategic topic. And I think the part of the comment that was yesterday, it's addressing this topic. Atomic power plants is a great idea, 20 years. So we need to react right now. And so this is the first part. The naive policy I think mostly Prime Minister commented the topic with United States. I mean, obviously, first of all, Trump is kind of playing his own game, and he's not taking too much effort or look for Poland or for Europe. And the second of all, you remember the J.D. Vance that he was present in Europe, and what was his words? I think we kind of, all of us, not only Poland, but also Western Europe, we kind of wake up. And I think this is the momentum when Poland can take a lead in this transformation. By the way, a few days ago, there was a great article in the German newspaper, so-called Unternehmen gain, so the entrepreneurial gain in Poland. And I think we have this skill of, we are hardworking, obviously. We have the great business developing. We have GDP, I think, second in the world. So I think it's our momentum. And if I would be a prime minister, I would do exactly the same. I would play on my strengths. And obviously, Mr. Prime Minister is doing that. He's playing on the strengths.
But one of today's announcements focused on giving local companies a major role in the country's first nuclear power plant, something that we've been focusing on our shows quite frequently. How will the announcements today, the speech today, impact the delivery of that? Because there has been increasing focus and ambition on the so-called local content, so giving domestic companies the priority.
Yeah, I think this is two independent topics. I mean, each country has to have an energy strategy. And obviously Poland has, and I believe when we discuss the regulation topics with Minister Maciej Berek, we constantly deliver the topics from area of electricity. And I can see that this topic of energy consumption is important for the government. So we can say there is a strategy behind. From other perspective, involvement of the Polish entrepreneurs, it's obvious on the kind of building parts. So there will be a lot of building areas related with all investments, and they may include a bit more than in the previous times the Polish-owned companies. So I would say the strategy is one, and the technology is one. We have to choose some of the technologies in the following weeks and months that we want to invest to. And the second topic is smaller and bigger contracts for developing part of the project. It could be realized with the Polish business. Why? Because they are paying taxes in Poland. This is what my current boss in the project, Rafał Brzoska, often mentioned. He is the biggest payer in logistic area in Poland. Why not to play on such a player, not on somebody who, at the end of the day, bring all the income and take it away to other country?
Sure. In terms of this local content, how will the government ensure that two very similar companies, two very similar offers in a tender don't get the local company is chosen? I mean,
the easiest way is to define the criteria of success. So whenever you make a public tender, you are, with details, developing the weighted average, what is taken into KPIs of such a project. Normally, price is like 80% or 70%. I think it's only a matter of decision, but it has to be constituted by law. It cannot be like local CEO of the state-owned company, he takes decision himself. But if they decide to put a bit lower priority on price, and there will be extra points, even small amount, for paying taxes in Poland, then, I mean, if the difference in price is small, then the Polish capital win. If the difference in prices is high, then the business is going to the foreign company, which is, I think, quite transparent as well.
Okay. And in terms of the deregulation program that you work on with Rafał Brzoska, can you tie that in with today's remarks?
I mean, we are in, I would say, half of our project. We deliver so far 202, I think this is the figure from Monday, 202 initiatives. As you remember, the kind of promise from our part was 300. We should deliver 300 by end of April. We would like to deliver a bit more because the deadline is 30th of May. So we believe with the whole team that we are able to deliver between 400 and 500 initiatives. And this is the first part. Great part, we are so proud of it. But honestly speaking, from the final kind of user, there's always a question, how much will be kind of into the life? So the second part, from every 100 we deliver, the team of Maciej Berek, they have 100 days to write the law, proceed through ministers, proceed through Council of Ministers and make final decision. And this they should deliver in 100 days. If you go to sprawdzamy.com, you can find the clocks, the kind of timing on every initiative, how many days it's already in the part of governmental part.
So just remind me, how many have you already
202.
And which one are you most proud of?
Oh, it's like asking for the kids, which you like the most. I mean, I have so many. They are so small topics which we are proud of. Like,
but which one is closest to your heart? Let's say one that perhaps affects you the most.
I would say there is a topic of full presumption of taxpayers. It's complicated because in the law it's written there should be a full presumption, but of taxpayer innocence, of course. But it's not kind of done in the daily operation, in daily life. So this is one of the initiative I think should be kind of clarified with extra instruction that the local tax offices, they will be really treating taxpayers as human beings, not as kind of criminals. The one I'm quite of fan of, it's a whole set of small changes in judicial system. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's crazy currently. You have to wait 2-3 years for your court case. So, for example, one of them is saying that you could choose within some, of course, parameters if you would like to proceed in the local court or some neighbor court. If you think about it from Warsaw perspective, if I could take decision to go to Radom, which is like 1 hour drive, and have my court case within 3 months, not within 2 years, this could be a game changer.
These are issues that genuinely affect the everyday lives of citizens, which is something that I'm sure people in Poland will be very keen to hear on. How many other initiatives can you share with us that might affect the everyday lives of citizens?
One of quite important is mObywatel. It's a digital app that we are quite as a nation proud of. And before we start to show the potential development of mObywatel, there was kind of, I have a feeling, thinking that since we are already a digital leader in Europe, why to go further? Mm-hmm. I mean, we are already much more advanced in digital solution than Germany, France, I mean, in all kinds of the respects. Blik payments, mObywatel, etc. I mean, you can do part of your topics through online in administration. But we said, I mean, if you have a private company and you have some advantage, you are kind of hitting on this advantage up to the end. So we said, guys, I mean, if you already have mObywatel, go forward. And we have all set of ideas. You can have pension information there. I mean, this IKE and the whole pension information in one place. You could kind of make a migration between internet account of patient, mm-hmm. which is related with your health data, to mObywatel. So we said, I mean, use it. This was one of initiative. Another great initiative, let's finally, and by the way, it's not deregulation, it's kind of development. Yeah. It's AI Act. We are missing, like hell, a strong AI Act in Poland. We have a lot of great experts who are currently, unfortunately, working for foreign economies, doing AI solutions, and our local AI solutions are quite far from the edge. So cutting edge. So I would say let's make as a first in Europe strong AI Act that will kind of address the ethic, address the challenges related to AI, but also release the potential of this solution.
That's a great idea.
And they are so much more.
Oh, so much more, I have no doubt. But if you were to summarize in one sentence, what is the end game of this deregulation program?
From our perspective, if from 450 ideas we will present, 150 will go into life. It means they will go through this whole long path of making law. So they will be written as an act. They will go to ministers. They will go through parliament, and finally the president will sign. It will be a great success. I think it will be success that was never done in Poland, but I don't believe any other country in Europe they can really share the success of this size. So if 150 out of these 300 that we should deliver, in fact, 400. So 150 into final law, it's a success.
Okay, Adam Malinowski, project coordinator at sprawdzamy.com. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you. Keep fingers crossed.
I will indeed. And that wraps up the bottom line for today. I was your host, Marie Cato. We're on every weekday at 5:10 CET on TVP World. And in the meantime, for the latest in regional business, follow us on X and on tvpworld.com. And for more news and analysis, stay with us on TVP World. Goodbye.